Up to the ears, water falling the shoulder blades down the back. And starting to imagine there's a string on the top of your head pulling you just a little bit taller. If it feels safe, close the eyes, and if it doesn't feel safe, just lower the gaze down to the ground. Starting to take some deep belly breaths here. Just start to notice how it feels to breathe tonight. Where does that air want to go? Where does that air not want to go? If it feels right for your body, start to breathe in through the nose for a 5 count. And exhaling softly out of the mouth for a 7 count. Inhale 5. Exhale 7. Inhale 5. Exhale 7. Staying with this. Couple more. And bring the hands together at heart center. Press those thumbs into the sternum and take a moment to set a sankalpa or an intent for today's practice. This is your practice, make it personal. Exhale, release the hands to the knees, drop the chin to the chest. Inhale the ear to one shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, ear to opposite shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Continue with this, let your breath start to carry you. When the ear finds one shoulder, go ahead and leave it there. And we're bringing our ear down to our shoulder, not the shoulder up to the ear. And there's probably going to be a gap here. That's totally fine. Bring that same arm up and over and add just a little bit of pressure. Walk your opposite hand away from the body, lengthening the scalenes. Taking some deep belly breaths here. And walking the hand behind the body just a little bit more. Inhale, lift up, switching sides, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhale the ear to the opposite shoulder. Bringing that same arm up and over, adding just a little bit of pressure. Walk the opposite hand away from the body. Walking the hand behind the body just a little bit more. Inhale, lift up. We'll interlace the fingers and bring the fingers back behind the occipital. Elbows open super wide. Keeping our backs as straight as is comfortable, drop the chin to the chest and add just a little bit of pressure on the back of the head. Starting to find that stretch in the back of the neck, maybe down through the shoulder blades. And then around the back, look down at the belly, keeping the pressure on the back of the head, finding that stretch from the neck all the way down to the sit bones. Inhale, lift up, rolling out the shoulders. We are going to open in a pose we know as surfboard. It is a relatively new pose for this platform. So to fold the blankets to use as a prop, we are going to, from an open position, fold in half lengthwise, fold in length, half lengthwise one more time, and then fold in half. So once you have one that's kind of a small rectangle like this, you're going to place this down on the ground with the folded edge at the very top of your mat. You'll take a second blanket and fold it the same way. So once again, from widthwise, you're going to fold lengthwise again, and then fold in half. So now that you have two small rectangles, we have the first one laid out. We'll take the second one and overlap it, but it's going to kind of hang over the edge here like so. I'll take my second blanket, fold it down so that this lines up with my bottom blanket, and then I'll take the top blanket and fold it all the way over. So what we've done here is we've created a little bit of a ramp. From there, I'm going to take my block or my book, and most likely it's going to be on that mama bear level. So papa bear, mama bear, baby bear, probably mama bear. And this is going to come at the top of the mat. This is going to be your super comfortable pillow for about the next 10 minutes. To come into this pose, what we're going to do is come down onto the chest, walk the legs behind us. The forehead's going to rest on the block, and we'll walk the arms behind us with the palms facing up. We're going to allow those shoulders to start to roll forward and opening up the top of the shoulders, the top of the back here. Hanging out here for about 10 minutes. Your only job is to breathe. If you find that your mind starts to race, come back to that breath we opened with, breathing in for 5, exhaling for 7. Really activating that vagus nerve, letting the parasympathetic nervous system kick in. Slowly deepen your breath. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and push the hips back to meet the heels in a Balasana, child's pose. Pausing here for 3 slow, deep breaths. Walking the hands back, coming back to a seated position. We are going to take both of our blankets and roll them together to make a great big burrito like this. If you have a bolster at home and you'd rather use the bolster for the rest of the poses, you're welcome to, but I'm going to be cueing these with the burrito. So we're going to bring our burrito about 2/3 of the way down the mat widthwise. And then we're going to take one of our blocks or our books, whatever we're using, on that baby bear level, the flattest level, and put it at the bottom. This block is going to be your footrest for the next 10 minutes. And this bolster is going to go right underneath the hip bones to help support the lumbar area. We're going to come into prone Supta Baddha Konasana. So to come into this pose, we'll start with tabletop over our bolster. Get the feet so that they're kind of comfortable here. Start to walk the knees out. Soles of the feet will start to come together. And then you're going to lower the hip bones on to your bolster. Take a moment here. Make sure that the hips are comfortable. And then slowly lay down. And you can turn the cheek to either side. It might feel good to use the hands as a pillow. It might feel good to extend the arms overhead. It might feel good to bring the arms out to the side like a T. Kind of depends on what's best for you today. Coming back to those deep belly breaths. Noticing the breath on the inhale. Noticing the breath on the exhale. It might feel good to turn your cheek to the other side. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and push your hips back to meet the heels. Savasana, child's pose. 3 slow, deep breaths. Bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, pushing yourself up. We're going to take the same burrito that we just had widthwise, and we'll bring it lengthwise down the mat. We're going to come into supported recline spinal twist. So to come into this pose, we're going to bring our hip right up to the blankets or the bolster. That way we offer the body the most support possible. With your legs, you have a couple of choices here. With your bent knees can be stacked, staggered, or some variation, whatever is very comfortable for you. We're going to lift up through the spine, twist over the bolster, and place the belly and the chest onto the bolster. And turn the cheek to either side. It totally depends on what's best for your neck. Your body should feel completely supported here, and there might be a really beautiful opening happening in the low back. If you need your bolsters to come up a little higher, that's why we have blocks. We'll be here for about 5 minutes. Slowly deepen your breath. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders. Push yourself up. We're going to come into reclined spinal twist on the opposite side. So once again, bringing the hip right up to the bolsters, lifting up through the spine, twist over. And the cheek can go in either direction. Totally depends what's best for the neck. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Bringing the hands back underneath the shoulders, pushing yourselves up again. We're going to set the props up in the ramp formation to come into eagle legs. This is our final pose before Savasana. So to set this pose up, we're going to bring one block on that Papa Bear level. And then the second block or book will either be on the baby bear or mama bear. It's going to kind of depend on what feels best and what feels most stable for you. But we want to create a ramp that looks something like that. From here, we're going to bring the feet on either side of the ramp and scoot up so that our glutes are touching the ramp. Coming flat onto the back, I'm going to cross my right leg over the ramp and rest my thigh on the ramp. Then I'll cross my left leg over my right, and this is where I'm going to hang out for the next 5 minutes. The arms can come up over my head, out to the side. Maybe you want to place a hand on the belly and a hand on the chest to feel the breath. This will give us a beautiful opening in the hips and my T-bands. Slowly deepen your breath. We're going to uncross the legs and plant the soles of the feet onto the ground. Take a moment, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Release any tension that might be in the hips and back. We're going to come into eagle legs on the opposite side. So reversing the cross, bringing the left leg over and then the right. Slowly deepen your breath. Uncross the legs. Take a moment, windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Rolling over onto one side, push yourself back up to a seated position. We're going to move the blocks off the mat and just bring our burrito widthwise onto the mat. We're going to come into Savasana, our final resting pose. So the bolster will come right underneath the knees to offer the low back some support. The heels will come out as wide as the mat, maybe wider. Coming down onto the back. We'll walk the shoulder blades down the back, palms face up. Maybe lift the head and lengthen the neck. And close the eyes. Bring the awareness back to the breath. And start to notice where your heels connect to the earth beneath you. Feeling that support. Noticing the calves connect to the earth beneath you. Noticing the support. Feeling those hips connect. Shoulder blades. Back of the hand. Back of the head. Entire body held and supported. Entire body at ease. Just you and your breath. Slowly start to deepen your breath and start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bringing the arms up and over the head for a full body stretch, taking up as much room as you possibly can from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Rolling over onto one side, pausing there for just a moment. Bringing to mind one thing that you love about yourself. One thing that you're grateful for right now. And offering yourself just a moment of gratitude for taking time to practice tonight. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, push yourself up to a seated position with hands at Undulate Heart Center. And I leave you with these words from page 170 of the She Book Volume 2. Your truth will bring out the worst in others. Your love will tingle what they've numbed. Your authenticity will provoke closed minds. Your gratitude will irritate trolls. Your success will attract haters. Your empowerment will create enemies. Your uniqueness will antagonize fear. Your courage will attract cowards. Your sexuality will freak people out. Your joy will tug at their trauma. Your compassion will unmask envy. And love, that's what it's meant to do. Your aliveness will reveal many, many mental prisons, but help set even more minds free. I am so grateful for the opportunity to practice with each and every one of you. I hope you leave this practice feeling just a skosh better than when we started. The light in me so very much honors the light in you. If you find value in this practice, please share this Zoom link with your friends and family. If you're looking for other types of yoga, maybe check out my Patreon at www.patreon.com/LifeKeysEnergy. If you haven't hung out on the website in a moment, there's a whole lot of new free stuff on there and some new links. So lifekeysenergy.com is where you can find me. In the meantime, be kind to yourself and be kind to others.